Good afternoon, YouTube. Welcome back once again to Phatkat Collections. Got another watch review for you folks today, and this is another watch by Cadola. Now, this is a watch brand underneath the Dartmouth, I guess, parent company. I guess the best way of saying it. And I reviewed several watches by this company already. Like all the Dartmouth brands, you know, all the quality that all the watches they produce are incredible. I mean, they make a great watch no matter which one you choose, and you know, there's going to be different check boxes for different people and different options, but ultimately they have something for everyone. And you know, we think of affordable brands out there, and we you know, I think if you're not really a watch guy and you're walking around the mall, you're not going to find, at least to the best of my knowledge, you're not really going to find any of these brands. And it's just incredible what you get for your money with brands like that. So what I like about this is that this is, you know, when I collaborate with the many different brands out there, no matter whether it's Dartmouth and I'm getting watches on every couple weeks, you know, every couple weeks get something new, whether they're coming out with something new, I always try to get something that's a little bit different than what I already have in my collection. And so a black watch to me is, you know, it can be rather boring, right? It could just not really stand out. And I feel like when I wear a watch, I want something that's going to have a little bit of pizzazz to it. And it gets harder with a black watch. And I've said it in many videos, sometimes the addition of having something really large, like a large size watch, sets it apart. Other times maybe having a pretty cool like abalone face to kind of really make it pop. You guys have seen my Invicta Abalone Grand Octane review. Or sometimes the addition of gemstones or diamonds. What I liked about this watch is that the watch has a very what I would consider like a vintage kind of case. This is what you're going to find on like sort of like the way the Doxa is shaped. It has, I'm going to call it a tonneau kind of shaped case, but it's really not. But it has kind of like that football elongated, kind of rounded square or rectangular look. I dig this one. I like what they've done on this. It's a pretty unique, interesting watch, and I think what also really separates it, and I like, and this is a first for me, is it is on leather, of course, and I have leather strap watches, but they have these huge kind of holes in there, and this really leans really towards, I don't know what it is about these holes, but in my mind it always goes towards like racing, like automotive. And so I think the reason for that is, I guess my mind, when I think about racing, I think of driving gloves, and sometimes they had the exposed knuckles, right? And I know I may be incorrect in stating that those are driving gloves with the exposed knuckles, but that's just where my mind goes. And when I see these kind of large circles cut out of the bracelet or the strap, that's what I think of, and I dig it. You know, and Cadola is sort of a automotive themed watch company. I totally dig this watch. What I also like about it is that this is a they call it Meca-Quartz. This is powered by a Seiko VH60. So we have, again, another great checkbox, another checkbox for me and for a lot of other folks. And what kind of movement does it have? We have a reputable Seiko VH60 movement in there. Now, I'm not 100% sure on what makes a Meca-Quartz. I think it has something to do with the sweeping second hand, which is what this watch does have. And what's also interesting about this watch, it has a unidirectional rotating bezel that's behind the crystal. So if you turn this upper function pusher, it turns the bezel, which is pretty cool. I like that they did that. You have a standard fixed bezel on the outside. I'm not sure, I'm probably using the wrong terminology in what this ring is, like an inner chapter ring. Correct me here. You guys know I don't really get too involved in knowing what the parts are in each watch, but it's a great looking piece. I mean, again, for a black watch, it really stands out by having these holes cut in the leather strap, and I like that they add a little bit of white, a little bit of baby blue. They have a little bit of baby blue stitching on the strap, of course. They have it, and then of course you have your second hand, a little bit of baby blue lettering around the face or numbering. You know, this is a great looking piece. Now, this is one of these, a lot of times I'll say, when I get a watch like this, I say, oh, I might throw this on like a black metal strap. And this is one of those cases where I probably won't change a thing about this. I mean, normally when I hold up a black watch on camera, even at this distance, it looks rather plain, right? You guys who've been watching me for a long time may have remembered years ago, I picked up a Invicta, which one was it? I'm drawing a blank on the name. I picked up an Invicta. I wanted a black watch. I didn't have any at the time. And I picked up one of the Invicta models. I think it was about a 50 millimeter. And I ended up sending it back because it just, to me, and nothing against G-Shock or any kind of rubber watch, those are like great watches as well, don't get me wrong, but if I'm buying a watch, I want it to look a certain way. If I want to buy a G-Shock, I'll buy a G-Shock. And so when you look at a black watch, it just becomes a regular basic black. It could just be a digital watch in your wrist. And again, with this, you can even see at this distance, there's more to it, you know. It's got a little pizzazz to it. Am I making sense? That's kind of where my mind goes. I like the fact that the dial is very legible, very easy to read. We have the white and the baby blue. Again, those baby blue accents on the strap. And again, even getting back, further back, I mean, it looks like, hey, it kind of draws you in. It's like, what kind of watch is that? It's interesting. Imagine if this is just a plain old leather strap with a round watch, not that football kind of shaped case. It would just be very boring and not something I really want to wear. But when I saw this, you know, scrolling through the Cadola website, it pulled me in. So totally dig it. Love this watch. Just kind of picture this with a black leather jacket. Pretty badass. Totally dig this watch. Yeah, if you can't tell already, I'm pretty giddy about this one. I definitely dig it. All right, so let's talk about the specs a little bit. So the description on this here, and I'll put the link in the description, as always, read about it. Let's get price out of the way. Right now, $360. Use my coupon code, you'll save a little bit. Coupon code and link is in the description. Take advantage of it, don't forget. So it says your classic vintage silhouette makes this watch a great addition to those who've come to appreciate the time-honored style and sophistication of a mid-century motorsports inspired, there you go, timekeeping. The Seiko VH60 movement features a precisely accurate, highly durable, and unique 24-hour hand, making it the perfect for any collector or enthusiast. So right here at the 6 o'clock position, we have a 24-hour hand. So that's pretty cool. So you get the military time, 24-hour hand on the watch as well. I didn't realize that until I just read it. I was looking at it, and I pulled these out of the box last night and didn't really spend a lot of time with them. I did wear this one. If they sent me, you can see all the watches on the table back here. They sent me 11 watches. This was the very first one I pulled out. I was looking for this. I wanted this. And, for you guys who've been watching me, would be saying, seriously, that's the watch of all those huge, flashy, colorful watches? That's the one you went for? It was. Something about this watch that just kind of draws me in. Maybe it's the motorsports inspired theme. I'm just not really sure, but I totally dig this. So what do we get? We have. I'm not going to read you all the specifications. We have a 20 millimeter strap. So you ever need to get a strap for it? Very easy to find. You want to throw it on metal? You can do that as well. Easy to find strap for these. It says 180 grams of weight. 2 years international warranty. We have index and lume on the applied index and markers. Lug to lug, 46 millimeter case thickness, 12. These are pretty standard dimensions. 42 millimeter case size, pretty standard. And again, we have that stainless steel case with the Japanese quartz VH60 Seiko movement. Now, while I got you guys here, I do just want to, together, we'll do this here, VH60 movement. Let's see what they say about this. When I search for VH60, let's see here, TMI movement. So I know they always call it Seiko, but it is technically a TMI, time module movement. It's not really a Seiko, but it is, I believe TMI is owned by Seiko. It is technically a Seiko design. It's really no different to the best of my knowledge, but it is a TMI. So what they say with this is it has a 2-year battery life, which is fantastic. We have a sweeping second hand, which is pretty cool. And then, of course, the 24-hour dial. Is that all they have here? Spec sheet, full reference list. Let's see what they have here. No, it doesn't really... What I was really looking for was the, I guess, what the point of it is, like what makes it a mechanical quartz. And I guess, for you guys, not that I don't want to spend too much time here me staring at the screen while you guys are watching me here, but what I would encourage you guys to look at is maybe some other YouTube videos, or maybe a couple posts. I think that the real allure of this movement is, of course, that sweeping second hand. And one guy says on here, not as smooth as the Precisionist, but not bad. I can definitely attest to that. The Precisionist sweeping second hand is, it really sweeps. It's smooth. Whereas this, to be honest with you, I almost feel like by looking at this, you guys can probably see, like, it's ticking away. So I don't even really consider that a sweeping second hand. And if that is not to knock the watch, I totally dig it, but I mean, you're getting an automatic, I'm sorry, you're getting a movement that is branded. You know, at least you're not buying some just a quartz movement and no other information. You're getting a quality movement with that 24-hour dial. But the sweeping action of it, I would say if you're buying this for that reason, you might want to pick something else. I don't really think that this really sweeps all that well. And you can see here by the video, you know, it's definitely, hopefully by the video you can see that. To me, it's just ticking away. It's not like a, you know, I'm sure there's a better way of describing this, but it's not like a tick, tick, tick. Let's see if I have anything else here that might kind of give you guys an idea. I don't think I have any other, no, I don't have any quartz move. These are all automatic, so, oh well. Well, that gives you, I mean, again, it gives you kind of an idea of what it's looking like and what it's going to look like if you do buy this. But yeah, but even like I said, putting that aside, I don't think that, you know, those are kind of things. Everybody has their different things they're looking for in a watch and different check boxes, and I totally get that. I totally respect that. But, you know, I just don't think if you were looking to buy a watch based on the sweep, I think that's kind of a silly reason to buy a watch. I think ultimately my #1 checkbox is, you know, do you like it? Is this a watch that draws you in like it did me? And that's what I always find the most fun about watch collecting, is when you see something that you normally would not, like if somebody asked me, hey, what do you know, you're going to a website, what are you looking for? You know, I don't think I would automatically start looking at black watches, you know, but this one here, for whatever reason, when I scroll through their list, bam, I saw it and it just drew me in, and I totally dig it. As far as the box, you know, basic Cadola box, small, nothing really to write home about. This will probably go in the trash. I'm running out of room for boxes, so that'll probably get tossed. But let's not waste any more time here. Let's just throw it on the wrist. Now I have a 7-inch wrist. I weigh about 175 pounds. On me, we're at the second to last position here. So this kind of bugs me when companies do this. You know, even at the second to last, it's a little tiny bit loose. We could go to the very last position and it's snug, but that's it. So companies should always make a watch that's going to fit a much smaller wrist. Like something like this should really go down to at least a 6. And I think the reason they did that is because you have the extra hole here, and that gets in the way of adding. Here, we'll go to this side. That gets in the way of adding an extra notch, right? You could probably sneak another one in there, but or might have been better to remove that last hole, but it takes away from the watch. You know, when you have that wrapping around your wrist, it's nice to get all those holes right around the side there. So just kind of keep that in mind. If you're a guy who has a, you know, 6-inch wrist, this probably is not going to be a watch for you. But for anybody else, you know, you got a lot of room there to get up to probably, I'd say, almost a 9. So pretty cool. Check that out. And see, when it's on skin, it looks really cool. It looks very, I don't know, very automotive. I absolutely love this piece. This is definitely one for the collection. You know, when you have as many watches as I have, you start to get a little desensitized. You start to, you know, don't get me wrong, I get excited about every watch I get, but you know, there's only so many watches that are stainless steel that you know, you have to really kind of start to think outside the box. And this is kind of again, another thing I just really appreciate with watch collecting is I'm always surprised that I get surprised. This is, again, not one I would even consider even normally looking at, but I tell you, it is absolutely awesome. And this kind of opens up the doors too a little bit for, you know, maybe, you know, there's a few watches I have that are black that I don't wear at all. Like there's what's one watch I got? Very plain, basic, beautiful watch, but never wear it. The Delta T, another fine company, right? Delta T collaborated with me on several watches years ago, and this black watch I never wear. It's just I put it on bracelet. It just, to me, is a boring black watch, but I'm definitely going to pick up a leather strap like this with some with those holes cut out of it, because it just really, I don't know, it takes the watch to a different level. I don't know, maybe you don't agree, but I love it, I dig it, and I think I'm going to try to find something like this with some white stitching to kind of match you know, the white indices on that Delta T watch. And it's a good rule of thumb for you guys too. If you have a watch that you're kind of got a little tired of, and maybe you're like, yeah, I liked it at the time, doesn't really do much for me, throw one of these straps on it, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. It's a good look. I like it. Like I said, I like it. This is where the surprise comes. I like it so much. I mean, I might try to find a white leather strap with the holes cut out for maybe some of the other stainless steel watches I don't really wear. You can go, you know, black and white, go Stormtrooper. It's sometimes just getting a new strap can really breathe some new life into a watch that it doesn't get a lot of wrist time anymore, you know, for whatever reason. And I'm speaking to the guys. We are obsessive, us watch collectors, and guys who watch me. It just starts with one, but then it goes off to two. And I don't think there's many people who watch me for my watch content who don't progressively increase the size of their collection. So let me know what you think about this watch. Dig it, love it. Check out Cadola. If I can help in any way, let me know. As always, happy holidays, happy new year, and take care.